Personal protective equipment is the equipment that you wear to protect yourself from harm. We have boots, we have chaps, we have our reflective vests, our helmets, our eye protection, and our ear protection, and our gloves. Right before starting a saw, you always want to put your ear protection on. That'll keep you from going deaf. And when you are cutting with the saw, you always want to put your visor down to keep shavings out of your face, and so this is your eye protection, so the shavings won't get into your eyes. Our chaps are made of Kevlar. We have buckles to keep them tight around us, but the Kevlar is built so if the saw chain gets caught on your chaps, the Kevlar will bind up inside the chainsaw and it will completely stop it so it can't cut your leg. And when you carry a saw, you always want to have the scabbard covering the bar and chain so it can't cut you. And this is proper way to carry it is to have the bar facing behind you. When you go to start a saw, you always want to have the chain brake on before you do anything else. When you're using a saw, you always want to keep your thumb wrapped around the front handle and your arm straight, and when you go to put the chain brake on after using a saw, you can just nudge it forward. If you don't have your left arm straight and your thumb wrapped around the front handle, you can cut up with the saw and it can cut your face. When you are the one running the saw, you always want to watch your footing. Where you're standing can really affect how you're running the saw. You always want to have good placement of your feet so your legs are holding you up the correct way. And whenever you're using the saw, if you take more than 3 steps from where you've used the saw, you always want to put the chain brake on just for safety. When I'm cutting a tree, I always want to make sure that I have an escape route, at least 2 different escape routes to get away from the tree when it's falling. Whenever I do cut a tree, I always want to make sure that I check for widowmakers, which are branches high up in a tree that can get caught and snap and fall and hit you in the head and could possibly kill you. And I want to make sure that when I am cutting a tree, I have the proper footing so I don't slip and have the saw cut me or potentially could hurt someone else. Some consequences when you cut a tree is that it will land on smaller trees or even just the branches from the tree that you've cut. And those are called spring pulls when they're pushed back or under the tree like this. And once you cut the tree or cut part of the tree, some of the spring pulls can fling back like that. And they can be even more dangerous or more violent and after you cut it, and they can cause serious harm or could even kill you. If somebody wanted to run a chainsaw but they never have before, I would tell them that when you run a saw, it's not really as scary as it seems. You just need to really pay attention to what you're doing. The rest of it's actually pretty fun.